What's up everybody, welcome back to How It's Done. So today we are going to be installing this motion sensing switch inside the pantry. The idea with installing something like this inside a pantry is that you're not in here for a long period of time. As soon as you walk in, the light will come on, and once you leave for a short period of time, the light goes off. Nice thing about this is it's in a position where it's most likely not going to get blocked by food. If the switch was located back any further, it could be blocked, and actually here, if they put a box here, it could block the switch from working. So you don't want to do that in a closet where clothing is going to block it. If it were out on a wall here, it would be better, but you know, you work with what you got. So let's go ahead and get this out of the wall and turn the power off, and we will see what we're working with. Alright, so I got the switch out of the box, and before I shut off the power, I just wanted to show you this because there are a couple different ways things could be wired back here that you might come across, so I wanted to address that with you. The way this is wired, there's actually just a single Romex drop down. Sometimes you'll see this if there wasn't a light in here initially, and if they decided to add it after the fact, they might have just dropped the one Romex down here and done what's called a switch loop, which is where power comes in on one wire, goes through the switch, and then goes back out on the other wire, back up to the light, and the power is at the light the whole time. It's just looping through the switch down here. And then of course you've got the ground. So what we've got here on this switch has a ground, two power leads, so one's obviously going to be hot, one's going to be the switch leg. Looking at the wiring diagram, it doesn't matter which it is. And then it's got a white wire that has a green sleeve over it. If you're making this up to a neutral, you're going to take the green sleeve off. Since we don't have a neutral here, there is a white wire, but that's used as a switch leg. So since we don't have a neutral here, we're going to leave the green on here, make this and this green and yellow wire, which will be our ground. We'll make these up together on the bare wire. One of these blacks is going to go to the black, and the other one is going to go to the white. So let's go ahead and get that done, and we'll see how well this works. Like I said, one of the blacks goes to the black, one of the blacks went to the white. Sorry, let me say that again. One of the blacks from the switch went to the black from the wall. One of the blacks from the switch went to the white from the wall. And then the ground and the neutral with the green cover goes to the ground from the wall. Now again, if you're doing this in a setup where there's a neutral in here, you're going to have one of these going to the hot, one of these going to the switch leg, and then obviously the grounds, and this one will be going to the white wires in the box, which will be your neutral. So as I'm looking at this guy needs to be trimmed back a little bit so that that's underneath the wire nut. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. We'll get this all put back in there and test this puppy out. Alright, so we've got our switch installed. Let's see how well it works. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. You walk in, it turns on. So you can adjust the settings on this. The defaults, and depending upon who the manufacturer is, might be different. So the defaults on this are in gray, duration 10 minutes, sensitivity medium, and ambient light, which basically means how light it is without the light on, which as you can see in here, medium. I mean, you can see what you're looking at, but it's better with the light on. So, oh, and that's the other thing. If you press it off by hand, it will wait a certain time period before going back to sensor mode so that you can actually close the door and not have it turn back on its own.